Hey all, my name is Kurt. I'm here with Trenton. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. And today, Trenton, we have an epic show. An epic show. Quite a long time ago, we did the Reddit challenge. You only need 5 whiskeys.
Oh, that was a Reddit one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was from Reddit, something like that. But we did it with bourbon, and we did it with scotch. So today, you only need 5 whiskeys. We're going to do it with bourbon. It's kind of like a compilation of Trent and I wrestling out which ones made that.
I picked the
that
best one.
list. Then Trenton's going to give his rye whiskeys. You only need 5 rye whiskeys. And I'm going to give you something different today, an American single malt list.
Was I on for the Scotch one? Or was that just a you thing? I was going to say, because I don't remember tasting 5
Both of them were
Scotches.
just a me thing, so it's been a while.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while. And I kind of want to update it, and then I thought about it, and I thought, why don't we just include what you love, which is rye whiskey, what I'm really getting into, which is American single malt. And this wouldn't be an SLB show if we didn't include some form of bourbon, too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Gnats are back.
let's get that done.
Well, since so many new things are coming out, I feel like it might be worth it to do like a rolling, like an annual kind of thing. Because I don't even know how many of these came out this year, and a lot of them are from this year. And it's drastically, I feel like we did something about my favorite Ryes or something at some point, because I put in like a Sagamore and something else. There's no Sagamore in this one.
No? I know. I'm looking
Hold on to your seats. It's going to be a good one.
And there's some new ones I don't even know over there.
I know.
So
I know.
This is going to be special.
So I think we're going to do the rye first, right?
Yeah, and what we have, Trent, we have to have a daily drinker, right? Cheap mixer. Then you have to have a Friday night pour. Then you have to have one that's an impress your guest. And the last one, special occasion bottle.
Well,
Can you handle that?
I do. I can.
All right.
This was honestly very difficult for me to do.
It took me a long time to put this list together.
And there's one on here that's well, I'll talk about it in a sec. The daily drinker, right?
Yep, that's first. Daily drinker.
My daily drinker has been the Old Overholt 114 proof as of late. Wow. And I don't think we get this in Indiana, but we were in Ohio at the Party Source, just like a little bit north of Newport by New Riff. It's the same parking lot as New Riff is in. And we were doing a pick at New Riff. So we went in there, and I heard a lot of great things about this. I actually bought 4 bottles of this when we were there.
Did you really? I bought one. I have no idea you bought 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I didn't know if we were going to ever get these in Indiana, and I don't think we do.
I don't
think
so.
But it's a quintessential rye. It's pretty cheap. I think this was like, I'm terrible with pricing. I think this was like $22-23.99.
It wasn't that expensive. I know that. I remember that.
Same ballpark as like a Rittenhouse kind of thing, but I would use those for like kind of more of a cheap mixer than a daily drinker.
Sure.
Wow, great segue, by the way, for me.
That's
Old Forester for
natural.
me, yeah. Old Forester I was like mid-thought, and I was like, I gotta get this out now. With my cheap mixer would be Old Forester, the 100 proof rye.
How can you not?
I honestly rotate between the Rittenhouse and the Old Forester, not for any particular reason, just because I might have one closer to my hand than the other one. Yeah. But this is such a great bottle. It's like $22. It's even we had to get these at the distillery. Yeah. Because they were like allocated. They had a glass shortage or something. Yeah. So Kurt bought a couple of these, the 1 liters.
A couple of 1 liters, right?
At the distillery. And it's incredible for Manhattan, for whatever you want to mix it with. It doesn't disappoint for a what is this? Cheap mixer. That's right.
Cheap mixer.
And then this one, they're about the same price, but this is more of a drinker. This is like Old Granddad 114, but in the rye version.
I'm gonna have to get into this a little bit more because I have not.
It's very good.
I have not. All right. Next one you got, buddy, is Friday Night Pour. Friday Night Pour.
This is a new one. This just came out. I don't know. It is the Fiddler toasted straight rye whiskey.
Brand new
and
to me.
You'll notice that the foil is on this. You're like, how the heck are you putting this in a Friday night pour? We just one of my buddies opened this. We were at his house on it was either Friday or Saturday night. And this is like the most butterscotch, buttery, velvety rye that I think I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try some of that.
It reminds me kind of like a Widow Jane Decadence kind of palate, but it's not really that sweet still. Like, it still gives you some nice rye aspects to it.
Wow.
You can tell it's rye when you drink it, but it's like just so velvety.
Well, Georgia,
I love it.
This company is really coming out with some impressive whiskeys. I have to say that.
They did a toasted bourbon too that I have not tried yet, but I have heard some good things about that.
All right.
I like toasteds a little bit more than you do, so I'd be interested to kind of crack. I have it at home too.
Okay.
I'd be interested to try that out on a video or something for a review and see what we think about it.
Great.
What's the next one?
Impress your guest. Time to impress your guest, Trenton. What you got?
I went back and forth between my bottle, and I also had like that Jack Daniels, the twice barreled rye, the 2023. But I was like, that's a little bit more allocated than I want to get into right now. Right. So I went with this. It's called the Magi.
Another one I don't know a whole lot about.
Magi. This comes from Cat's Eye Distillery in Iowa. They do like Obtainium. They do the Magi. They do.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay,
that's them, the Obtainium.
I've heard that. Okay.
Those are like has 140 proof, 27-year-old stuff.
Big time.
This is, I don't know if there's an age state. Oh, wait. A unique blend of equal parts 6-year MGP rye and 21-year, what does that say? Palliser? I'll say Palliser. Palisade?
Yeah, I guess so.
Palliser rye whiskey finished in port and sherry cask. It's a really unique blend because there is some older Canadian in there.
Okay.
And I've been a huge fan of Canadian ryes lately.
Yeah,
like
Canadian
the Alberta
rye
Premium.
Is pretty legit.
I almost put Alberta Premium cask strength in here because I was able to get several bottles for $15 each.
I've seen that around
because there was some kind of closeout. So if you ever see an Alberta Premium cask strength rye and it's on closeout, it's not because it's bad. I don't know why they're putting them out for dimes and nickels for that. It's 125 proof rye for $15. Come on.
Super good too.
But I love a good finish, and I love a good finish in a rye. And just like you say, sometimes the finish can overpower the bourbon a little bit too much.
Right.
This is such a perfect balance. The sherry is in there, and I love a good sherry finish.
Yeah.
I will say, I like this a little bit more than the Sag sherry. I know.
What just happened here?
I don't know. But I feel like the port with that sherry kind of gives it a little bit more of a balance that kind of knocks that dustiness out that I usually get from a sherry, which I usually love. But it's got to be that 21 year in here.
All right.
Because I would.
It's another one I have to try.
What's that like? Down, now, like is that Kenny G?
What is this? Name that tune?
It's like the Shazam show on NBC or whatever.
I'll go with you on that one.
I get like hard eyes when I look at this, and this is the only bottle that I have. Matt and Katie, Tractor Garage, were able to pick this up for me. They live in Iowa. I don't know how far away from the distillery they are. They told me at some point.
Yeah.
But if you ever see a Magi, they also have a 27-year. It's like a port or a stout finish or something. It's like peanut butter. It's like a Reese's cup, but it's a little bit too stout, like a little too beer forward for me. Michelle got it. She loves it.
Okay. Probably for me too then.
Yeah. I know you're not a huge fan of that kind of stuff.
No, not really.
And then we got the Impress Your Guest.
Nope. You got it. Yeah, that was this one. You're going to move on now to Special Occasion Bottle.
That's what I said.
We'll keep them on
That's
the
what I said. So this is the New Riff High Note Collection. I got to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about its distribution. From what I heard, this was kind of a distillery-only release at New Riff.
I know. We were there doing our barrel tasting. We were lucky enough to pick that up.
Yeah. We were doing the barrel pick at New Riff, and we were tasting, and they have this like a display case when you walk in their tasting room, and they had this in there. They had that. I almost put the Aerostuck, the rye in there too. That was pretty good too.
Very good too.
I almost put that in here, but this made it. I asked about it, and I said, like, when was this released? I didn't hear anything about it. She said, I might have one left at my desk.
Really? Is that what she said?
And she's like, if I do, it's yours. And it was like $65, $70. It's a 4-year barrel strength Balboa single barrel rye.
Yes, it is. I'm reading on there now. I don't know if I've tasted that one either, Trenton.
Well, you should.
I'm going to have to catch up here.
And
what you got
there's a lot going on in the rye world.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
I guess so.
If you've ever had the New Riff Balboa rye, this is like that on steroids.
I love the Balboa rye.
It's incredible. Wow. So I apologize. I don't much about the distribution. I was offered it and I said, heck yeah, I'll take one. But anything that New Riff's been coming out rye-wise, I wouldn't pass on if I were you. Because it's unique, it's delicious, and it's fascinating.
I can absolutely agree
as you can see, I don't drink too much of this. I got this probably 4, 5, 6 months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Just a little bit of it. But.
Right. Well, that's all Trenton has for you for the ryes. Let's cut just for 2 seconds here. We'll clean off the bar top, and we'll get started with some American Single Malt.
We're back.
American Single Malt, a rapidly growing whiskey market in the United States. And Trenton, when I say rapidly, I mean it. it's growing exponentially.
I don't know much about it. The only thing that I know is that I've seen that Jack Daniel's has been hopping on that train with their American single malt. They got that sherry that's like a 1 liter.
Right.
And they did the American single malt double barrel last year. That was good.
And you know, when they jump on the bandwagon,
everybody's going to.
You know, it's got to be something that's picking up some speed.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. So my first bottle that I want to show you, my daily drinker, I've got to go with Stranahan's here, Trenton, the Blue Peak. It's nice and fruity. It's lovely. It's a little bit of a low proofer compared to your daily drinker. I guess I don't have as much hair on my chest as you do. This one is 86 proof, and you can usually get it for around $45.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for me, as a daily drinker, now keep in mind, when we have this term daily drinker, that doesn't mean we drink this particular bottle every single day. No.
Oh, that's not what that means?
Please don't.
Oops.
No, we don't advise drinking every single day. It's just a term used for this is what I would pull off the shelf more normally than some other expensive bottles and things like that I would reach for more often.
More of like a cost.
That's the way I look
cost
at it.
Prohibitive.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Maybe.
So please don't take that, with a grain of salt when we say daily drinker. We don't go with that. So, all right. Next one, Trenton, I've got is a cheap mixer. Now, this is a little different because American single malts, I'm just really getting into it, as you know, and I've tried to collect over the last 6 months to a year. Uh-huh. And we're going to be doing some shows at some point in time where we really delve deep into the whole American single malt.
Lovely. Wow.
I know you can't wait for that.
It's been on my list.
You can't wait for that.
Wow.
But Trenton, this one here, buddy, is like $40, right? It's Woodford's Reserve's Kentucky Straight Malt Whiskey. All right.
Is this a new thing?
This is 90 proof, 90.4 proof.
I'm going to smell all these.
Go ahead. Yeah. Now, what's interesting about that bottle right there is it's only 51% malted barley. Okay, so it's more of a bourbon drinker's introduction into the malted whiskey. However, I chose it as the cheap mixer because I think it would mix well because it has some of the malt notes and also some of the bourbon characteristics that you're looking for too, and plus the cost. This kind of product is going to be a little bit more expensive than bourbon and things like that. Uh-huh. Kind of like your rye,
right?
It's a little bit more expensive, to make. So I thought this was a good one here, and keep it in mind too. If you want to try a malted barley product, an American malted barley product, this is a good place to start.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're going.
This legit smells like it's like a crispy, cold fall night, and you're driving by a field that's being harvested or whatever.
Yeah,
that's crazy smelling. It smells pretty good. This smells better, but this is interesting.
Yeah. All right. Now my Friday night pour, Trenton. I tried not to. I really tried to not repeat a distillery, but at the end of the day, I scratched out 5,000 times, but I just couldn't help it. I'm going back to Stranahan's. I have to put on their cast strength. This particular bottle of mine is a single barrel. It is a barrel pick. It was a triangle barrel pick back in the day. It's one of our local stores. But you can pick up these cast strengths, Stranahan's, and mine is 113 proof, just shy of 113 proof. So what you get in this particular bottle, for me on a Friday night, I would choose a little bit more of a higher proof since this is Friday. You're chilling out. You're getting ready to hit into the weekend. Mm-hmm. You're going to get the same amount, the same type of fruit flavors on the front of the palate. And then like a freight train, here comes the butterscotch. I mean, I'm being dead serious in this bottle here. It's lovely. Delish. It's lovely. And it's only like, I think you can get those for around $60.
I bought
so it's not going to break the bank either. It's really, really nice. It's great stuff.
It does. Honestly, it smells pretty good. It smells like a marker a little bit.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Marker. Don't do that to me.
No, like what? Not what's this? It's not like a smell-o-vision. What's the markers that smell like a fruit when you write with them? You know what I mean? It smells like that.
Okay.
Not like a Sharpie.
Not the Sharpie marker that you talk about when we talk about Scotch.
Right. It's like if a Sharpie.
Peated Scotch.
Yeah. It's like if you distill the Sharpie in some berries or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
very specific.
Here's the bottle that I chose to impress your guest, Trenton. Matt and Katie also gave us this bottle.
This is from them.
And I love this bottle. This is Cedar Ridge out of Iowa. Cedar Ridge American Single Malt Whiskey. This is the quintessential. They have the regular quintessential release, but this is their single cask series, and this one was finished in estate red wine casks. All right.
Ooh, that actually sounds
now,
pretty good.
The reason specifically why I chose this to impress your guests, because it is lovely. The flavors are spectacular. The finish is impeccable. It's that red wine finish adds such jammy berry notes. It's lovely, Trent. I'm telling you, jammy berry notes in there. And then you still get those nice malty notes in the whiskey as well. But the main reason why I chose this is that you can buy that for like $60, $65. Now, to me, if I sit somebody down and say, try this, and they go, oh my God, it's so good, it's so good. Well, how much does that cost? How much does it cost? $60, $65.
I've never had it, but it seems like a pretty good price
it's
for a
good
cask.
buy, dude. Trust me, it's higher proof. It's a great bottle for the price point.
All right.
Really, really is. Last but not least, we're going to get out of those good price points, Trenton. You remember this one we just got? Trenton twisted my arm, and he twisted my arm. I didn't want to do it, but I finally jumped over that ledge and bought this bottle here. This is a beautiful bottle. This is the Breckenridge.
I didn't twist anybody's arm.
Whiskey. This is the Breckenridge Dark Arts malt whiskey. Look at that bottle. That is, I don't know, can they see that, Trenton, with the top two?
I can get like a little close-up of it, but
it's just a solid top to it. It's got a beautiful plaque here on the top. The bottle is exquisite. The packaging is marvelous. However, what's so great about this is Breckenridge. This is a yearly release, and this is batch 15. So, with their barleys, they go through a malting process where they get it as dark as they possibly can, caramelizing that barley almost to the point of burning, just at the right spot. So they do a lot of different dark malts in this here. And the finished product, now I'm going to tell you something. I gave a little bit this to Trenton just the other day, and you went.
I said some things I can't repeat on the camera. I bought one. I went out and bought one. Thank you to Doug from Virginia. He found it for me.
Well, I'm a bit irritated about that because Trenton found it for a little cheaper than I bought it for. I waffled around, had a good friend of ours that was out in Breckenridge. And I'm really trying to remember the name. And you know, when you get older, about 5 minutes from now, I remember the name. So if my wife was down here, if she was here tonight, she would know. So, but anyways, this is about $300. Now, you bought yours for
$199.
Get out of here. Get out of town.
Apparently, this was on closeout at a store somewhere. Okay.
Well, good for you.
Thank you, yeah.
This was bought at the distillery. So somewhere in that range, it's a little more expensive. So hence, I am only going to open this up on special occasions, and it's just, that is a chocolate cake. Lovely.
I got a lot of coffee in it, too.
And, yes.
It was like a chocolate cake with coffee grounds in it.
Oh yeah, just ridiculously good. So anyways, 92 proof, too, for that matter. So that's my list there. Let's get this bar top clean, and we'll get to the granddaddy of them all, the bourbon. All right, we're back. We're going to get on to our bourbon list, but first, I apologize for my brain freeze. Gage was our friend that picked up the Dark Arts bottle for me, so I wanted to make sure to mention him because that was an incredible thought that you did for the show here. So thank you. So, first of all, Trent, now we wrestled a little bit with some of these bourbon bottles. We did.
As we do.
So, but our daily drinker, I think we're both on the same page here, weren't we?
Yeah.
Early times, bottled and bond.
I mean, come on. How could you not?
I know.
I almost bought, we were in, I don't know where that was, but we were at a liquor barn in Kentucky, and they had these on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And they were like $22, $23.99. You can't beat the price, and you get an extra 275 mils in these because they're a liter. Yeah. And it usually does very good in our blinds. It does good pretty much for everybody, and it's just delicious.
It is. It's great.
It will be interesting because from what I hear, next year will be the year that this is no longer Brown-Forman. Who bought it? Sazerac?
Sazerac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep,
so this will be Sazerac distillate next year.
Okay. We'll find out
so
what
like
happens,
this and the black tops.
Right.
There's a lot of hot debate around that, but it's all the same juice.
Yep.
We did a video on it. I'll put it somewhere up there.
Of course you did.
Oh yeah.
Of course you're gonna say that.
But you love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I see it anywhere from $22, $23 to $30. I'll be honest with you. When I went golfing with Grandpa Paul the other day, he was so proud of himself. He took me into Gallup's, which actually that's a party store now, and they have a huge liquor section there now, which is really really neat. I did see that the owners put that in the case for $80.
Oh come on.
That. Along with all the good stuff, and that's why they have the good stuff there, because the Weller 12 was $300. You know the whole routine.
Yeah.
$80. No. 22. You'll find it. It might take you a little while. Just keep it in your brain. Keep looking for it. Eventually, you will find it, and it's a fantastic daily drinker. The next one I have for you is the cheap mixer. And Trenton, I've been mixing with this a lot more often. Old Granddad Bottle and Bond, primarily because of that high rye mash bill.
Yeah, it goes really well in a lot of cocktails. It's available. It's cheap, or it's what,
another $22, $23. Yeah,
and it's
like that.
Unlike its higher proof friend, the 114. This is everywhere.
Yep,
the 114 is getting hard to find, but you can find this anywhere. It's a great mixer. It's even great as like a pour. I don't have this as a pour too often.
Yeah,
but it's really nice.
Yes,
got some nice orangey in there.
You can't
which
beat
I usually
it.
don't like.
Can't beat it. My Friday night pour as of late, and this is, we are fortunate that Barrel Company sends us bottles, so we're fortunate for that. And I think this is around, I'm sure, off the shelf $80, $85 because that's usually what it is. But batch 35, in my opinion, is one of the best batches they've had in quite some time.
Yeah, we've been, like you said, we've been fortunate enough to have them send us, I think, like 30 through 35, and they've all been pretty solid.
Yeah.
But this 35 just knocks it out of the park. Like,
it does.
What's the baseball guy with the 500-foot home run or whatever? Hank Aaron?
Well, you did good. He's got a lot of home runs. He's got a ton of home runs. He was in first place. Barry Bonds took him off. Babe Ruth. Good one. That's another good one. Mickey Mantle's got the long home run thing, too.
To say Mickey Mouse.
We go on and on.
I know my baseball history. But this is incredible. I see these sitting in display cases everywhere, and I get it. From a blended bourbon company that does a lot. All they do is blends. They don't have any of their own distillate. For an $85, that could be a little bit harder of a pill to swallow, but trust me, this is worth every penny of that, in my opinion.
It is. It's fantastic. It's about 117 proof, so a little bit elevated proof, which is always nice on a Friday night.
Yeah.
All right. Impress your guests, Trenton. We got a special one here, and you need to talk a little bit about this one. This is the Glenns Creek Distillery. This is their OCD 5, but this is their premium release. They only have this maybe once or twice a year, and you have to buy it at the distillery. So if you're in Kentucky and you're doing the trail, you happen to look up Glenns Creek Distillery, you just have to ask, do you have the premium bottle on hand?
Yeah.
So this one here, Trenton, is 113.6 proof, and it's signed, which was super cool by the master distiller there, David. So really, really neat stuff.
He doesn't like to call himself a master distiller.
He doesn't.
Don't make him angry here.
He's one of the guys. And that's what's cool about him, too. He's just one of the guys there.
Yeah. So OCD's Old Crow Distillery, that's like the abbreviation. He gave us a couple. Old Cranky Dave is also what he called it. I don't know which one's actually the truth. It could be both. I don't know. They're in the Old Crow Distillery, which is just a little bit past Castle and Key. And their regular OCD, when we tried it, was incredible.
It was very good.
And then Dave was being all sneaky. He poured us a little something underneath his little counter there, and he said, "Try this. This is almost black, and it's not aged for very long. Based on like when you try this, it's just like super dark, rich, figgy pudding, prune, and like coffee, just like really nice."
You nailed it.
I did.
I mean, you nailed that. Really.
I mean,
you really did. It's condensed. It's rich.
Yeah.
Maybe some real heavy molasses in there too, but what you said was perfect. An amazing bottle, and hopefully one day, you might be able to find one as well, but this was ridiculously good. Something you can really impress a guest with. Yeah. Last but not least, Trenton, the special occasion bottle, and for me, I've got to throw out Russell's 13. This was kind of my choice.
I voted for this one.
But he did. Trenton did too. Yeah, Russell's 13. What are they, about $150 probably, something like that? But
yeah. Do you know what batch that is? I think it was like 130 when you bought that one. They've gone up a little bit since the previous batch, from what I know. But around 130, 150, about that price. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But as you know, I'm a Wild Turkey fan, right?
Are you?
Yeah, I am. I got a couple.
Weird.
And I'm getting to the point where, even the Master's Keep releases, and let's get over the fact that I wasn't a big fan of because I'm not really a big fan of rum-finished bourbons to begin with. Mm-hmm. But even with the other Master's Keep bottles that I have, I'm getting to the point where this as the yearly release, the Russell's 13 is, I think they're cream of the crop, man. I think it's the top of the mountain for them.
17-year bottle and bond?
Huh?
Master's Keep, 17-year.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about year after year after year.
Yeah.
I know I've got some pretty good Master's Keep stuff back there, and I'm sure there's some, but I'm talking. There also, as you know, there's 2 or 3 Master's Keep that both of us were like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
nothing's gonna blow you out of your seat,
right? And I think overall, on their yearly releases, this Russell 13 hits the mark every single time. Every time, and so I don't drink a lot of it.
I can tell. Yeah.
I break it out a little bit here and there on special occasions.
Yeah. That's a good bottle for a special occasion.
Thank you for jumping on my bandwagon for that one.
I can tell you this was a little bit more of my vote, the OCD, and this was a little bit more your vote. Yeah. I don't have a Russell's 13 at home, so that's not something I drink really ever. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever had it. Did we do a video on it?
No.
Then I have never had it.
Get out of here.
I've never had it.
So you give it to me. You don't have anything at home. You've never tried it here.
Nope.
Well, we got to do that.
Maybe someday.
Real soon. All right, that's all we got for you today. I hope you liked it. You only need 5 whiskeys. We did it 3 ways.
Let us know what your 5 are in each category, or if you like Ryes, you don't like single malts, vice versa. You don't like bourbon, you like Ryes, whatever. Let us know what your 5 are. We'd be interested to hear it.
Yeah. All right. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and I, as my wife tells me I should be saying, in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.